say indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution. How about the fact that this is something that we can do? Today's stream topic is about what we can do. I am missing pieces of skin. What a scuffed way to start my dialogue. Johan took me and John rock climbing today. And I climbed rocks, and pieces of me stayed on the rocks. They didn't come home with me. I don't think I want to show you. I'll show you from afar. There's like a spot you can see it's like reddish. That's like missing skin. And then these ones are smaller. I'm only missing like square millimeters of skin on this one. This one is the big one. So I got that experience. That's something I've never done, right? And if not for Johan, then I would not have done that today, right? So having friends, one, allows you to do more things. This is true. But also, doing more things will allow you to have more friends, right? I don't think that's necessarily world-shattering. But today's stream topic was inspired by a dialogue, a conversation, a question, a disbelief, if you will, had by Johan, right? Like we did call the car company. I should probably give more context. We test drove 2 different electric vehicles today as well. I called them. I was like, oh, I want to come and do this. They were like, all right, when? I told them Friday. They're cool, we can do Friday. When are you going to be here? I'm like, we'll be there at 10. And 10 were there. Pretty much on the spot, I think. It was like perfectly 10 or something. Maybe even like 2 minutes to 10, punctual as we are. Got there when we were supposed to be there. Got helped by Francois, Benny. Benny was supposed to help us at first, but then Francois helped us instead, telling us that he'll be back. He's just going to take one of the other cars to the washers. And then when he took the other cars to the washers, I think the actual, either the owner or like the Big Daddy Bestider, the guy kind of like running the place, kind of took us under his wing, started having conversations, asked us which one we want to test drive, and there were like 2 nice ones, one nicer and then one nice, right? And I'm like, I want to try the nicer one first, and he's like, oh wait, and then he pulls it out for us. It makes like these little it's like dead silent, obviously, right? And I know you friends are like, why is this guy tripping out about the electric cars? Mel, do you live in the 1900s? No, I live in South Africa. Thank you very much. And we haven't had electric cars like that ever. Like they literally arrived like a month or something ago. They're brand spanking new. So it was this experience of like, oh, electric cars hasn't been a thing, and now they are a thing. I can't. Technically, if I could, I can buy one, right? Like they're available for that kind of like fractal right now. Goes on the test drive. I test drive the first one, the nicer one. It's called the BYD Atto 3. And then Johan and John is there with me as well. And then Johan test drives the second one. And on this like conversation of like, this is what we're gonna do today, Johan looks at me like, you can do that? You can just go and test drive the cars? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, do they charge you? Do they charge you? Do you have to like sign some sort of form? I'm like, sometimes you have to sign forms. And more often than not, in other words, every time, you need a license. You do need a license in order to do that. So I trip out for a second in that moment, thinking that maybe I don't have my license on me, being like, oh, yeah, there's a license. And then I say that, I'm like, do I have my license on me? I do. Fortunately, having the car that we went there with. And we go to the place. I have my license on me, of course. Doesn't even ask for it. Doesn't ask me for my license. Doesn't ask Johan for his license. Asks John, does he want to drive as well? John is like, no, I don't have a license. He's like, okay. Okay, that makes sense. You didn't have to tell me, but good thing you did, kind of vibes. And it was fun. It was fun having conversations with him. He asked us about what we're doing, what we want to do. And John and Johan enjoyed it so much that he sent his dad a message directly after we went on the test drives. And he's like, Dad, we need to sell our combustion vehicle engines and then get one of these, as like a trade-in kind of thing. And his dad is sold. Like, I don't know if Johan enjoyed it that much. He did. He did. He was very vocal about how much he enjoyed it. You can also talk to the car. You can tell the car to turn your AC on, and it does. That's so cool. Like my parents grew up with like TV shows like Knight Rider, right? Where the car was intelligent and can talk back. And now for like technically not an inachievable amount of money, you can own a car that talks to you. You can own a car that you can talk to and it turns on your air conditioner. Like I know. It's not that new, it's not that groundbreaking. But as a young person, very stoked about technology, very stoked about cars as well, right? I'm not that into cars anymore, but I used to be. My family still very much is. My dad started taking me to car shows when I was like a 5-year-old, right? So before I had any prefrontal cortex, uh, I could see pretty shape. I was like, this one's nice. And you know which one I gravitated towards the first? Like I remember like one of those car shows my dad took me to when I was like 5, 6-ish. And we were like passing cars upon cars, and they were like concept cars, and there were like big buggies with like extreme expansions, looking like twisty, going up rocks with like these, 2000 cc engine, like just like absolutely like 2000, like it was insane. That part of it was insane as well. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then we go into this like little bit older car showroom, and they have a Mustang 1969 Shelby. I think that's what it's called. Hey Google, can you show me a 1969 Mustang Shelby? Yes. Yes, this car. This car stands there. And my little kid brain couldn't handle it. I still can't handle it looking at it right now. I wanna pick the perfect image as well. I'll do these two. I was like, oh goodness. Oh my, please. Can I have please? Please please can I have it? They're so pretty. Right? And now I still think it's pretty. I still think it's pretty. However, I don't want one anymore. Yeah, should tell me DT. Yeah. Yeah, that was the one. Got in 60 seconds. It was fun. Maybe I should show you. I took one video of me climbing rocks, and it wasn't perfectly framed. I didn't get to show you my top hold, which is my bad. But I did think about new friends, and I wanted to send you something, to share with something with you. I'm talking words right now. Share something with you as well. Sitting in the dentist chair for another round of work. Bless you. It's nice to see you so happy. Thank you. Ah, yeah. Seems I am also. Where am I going with this? We had a. I'll tell you. I'll tell you where I'm going with this. I had this conversation with John yesterday, where he was telling me about like past relationships. Well, technically, we were having a conversation about him being in Spain. He used to like under contract sing for like venues, like resorts and stuff, and at the vacation venues. And he met a girl there who was native. And then she came back with him for 6 months. And then he spends, right? Like 6 months of his time earning enough money to have some money. And then this girl comes back with him and he tells me she just couldn't stay home. Every single day we had to go out and do something. We had to go out and spend money on food, or spend money on a piece of clothing, or spend money on an outing, going on adventures, spend money on the ice cream, and I'm like, yeah, dude. Uh, what did you expect? I tell him. The feminine wants nothing but fullness, right? The masculine can self isolate and look at a screen for 18 hours a day, right? Like we're already empty. We're already empty, right? So it's not a big deal for us to experience more of that emptiness. However, the feminine energy in us wants experience, wants fullness, wants to dance, wants music, wants splashes of color, wants beautiful smells, wants great tastes, right? And I very much acknowledge and recognize that part in me as well. I think I neglect it, to be completely honest, more often than not. And maybe I can bring it back by just saying, doing things for yourself feels good. You can do things for yourself too. I didn't really think about that as a point, but it seems like a good one to make as well. Hey, blessing Tristan, seeing Zana here too, Jovan, and Lois Zana. Again, bless you, Duck Dad. Hey there, beautiful light bears and bearers. That's so cute. Love you. Is that a charger or a duster? I don't know. I'm not that into cars, okay? Give me a break. Struggling with shutting down Duck Dad Farms for the year early. Too many plans to take care of. Too hot outside. Not enough hours. And sort of just want to begin life again. Law. Okay, I've gotten out all of the spaz. Now that that's out, why don't you just plant all of them? Why don't you literally, like, malicious compliance your city? Because they're like, oh, there's weeds in your garden. Strip it, and then just plant tomatoes, excessive amounts of tomatoes. And then you just literally deliver whole crates full of tomatoes to all of your neighbors. But Mel, that's so much work. I get it. I get it. The work isn't gonna go away. Alright, I'm feeling your struggle, bro. I did my best, but I'm only one man. One tired, hurting, and drained man. I'll talk to you all soon. Much love. We love you, bro. Love is true. I don't have the ability to take care of them in the ground either. The nice thing about tomatoes is they're not that big a deal. I hear Doug Dad being like, no, Mel, they big. No. Unless, like, this is what I'm seeing, Doug Dad, and I know I can feel your heart's heavy right now, and I'm not helping, but I'm trying to. So just meet me halfway there, right? You have some droppers. Like little, I don't know what droppers cost. Here in South Africa, they cost like 120 Rand one. So like $5, $6 droppers, metal pikes. Slot in the ground, right? Make another metal pike. Then put wire between metal pike. And then just put tomato plants. And then you just leave them. You leave them, you don't take care of them. Our garden has so many plants planted exactly like that. They do not get taken care of. They get given water, right? And maybe you can create like some sort of sprinkler system, so you can just press button or just turn tap. But you just leave them. Tomatoes like growing. They really like it. I don't want to see those plants being killed. That's what I'm tripping out about. I don't want to see those plants in trash. I don't want to see those plants on a compost hill. I want to see them in the ground, sequestering carbons, making tomatoes. Tomatoes are super nice as well. If you have too much tomatoes, make a bunch of tomato soup. Like literally like gallons. And I'm not joking, we do this at home as well. When we have that many tomatoes, we make gallons of tomato soup. And it is pretty maintenance free. Like we don't touch them, and then we go into the garden and we see, oh, there's a bunch of red tomatoes, and then we harvest them until that pattern arises again. Love is true, bro. You got this. My friend Angel reached out to me today and shared some wise words I didn't know I needed to hear. Coincidence? I think not. He sent the battle He sends the battle I forgot I was fighting. Please know that you are loved and you all have purpose. Love yourself, friends. Thank you, Agent. Agent K. My friend Angel. My angel friend? Or is your friend called Angel? Do you want to let us know what wise words they shared? I like wise words. I have some papaya biscuits in this. I only have one singular nug of it, so I've been pretty tame. This is the second time I've ever tried it. The last time was Eddie joined when we just shared it. Woo! This is so nice. I've had a strain before called Point Break. That had very similar terpenes to this one. And again, this might not sound exactly appetizing, but it's kind of like a permanent marker. That sharp, almost like chemically smell. That's what it smells like. And then alongside that smell is like a little bit of like papaya. Papaya doesn't smell that much though, so like in and of itself. So it's very interesting to me that it's that strong of a papaya smell on this bud alongside that chemically smell as well. Still tastes good. That should be about it. And then the flavor is more of the same, right? Like very sharp, lemonine. I think it is like a lemonine forward. I should actually go and check out. Let's see. Leafly papaya biscuits. Papaya cookies. Papaya cookies. There's papaya cookies. And then papaya. Not exactly right, but not. Deep sweet fruit, especially papaya on the nose. Tastes like sweet candy and cookies. The looks on the bud is also insane. Nice green hues combined with orange hairs. Bad information. I'll just click on the papaya, even though this doesn't feel, it does look very similar. I'll read it. Papaya is an indica dominant hybrid strain that is known for producing mental calmness. Do I seem more mentally calm after vaping it? Now I'm like ultra critical. There's a version of me watching me like a scientist. No, stop, please. Reducing a mental calmness. Though many consumers also find that this strain makes them energetic and productive. Those seem a little bit at odds. Nirvana Seeds bred this to be their take on mango strain, crossed citral and ice to make their own fruit. They met their own challenge, and papaya smells uncannily like its namesake. It's cool that they like echo that as well. The fact that I said that. The taste is similar to its tropical fruit counterpart, but a spicy, peppery side also becomes apparent. Myrcene, limonene, and carafilene. Yeah, so again, myrcene is like the mangoiness, and I did mention the limonene. I think this one might have a little bit more on the limonene side than on the myrcene side, because again, it's like sharp, right? Like imagine like a cleaner, like that chemically smell of like a cleaner even, but like it was lemon flavored cleaner, and doesn't sound good, but it tastes amazing. It's like someone is just throwing a bunch of fruits into a machine, and then that machine turns those fruits into a vapor, and then you get to inhale those vapors. And just so happen, those vapors have medicine in them. Did you know that terpenes actually have medicinal values in you? It's good for your bodies. It helps with your stressors. His name is Angel. That's a cool name. Being called Angel. Angel. I mean, Maybe it's cool. Depends on how cool you are, I guess. If you're not cool enough, I don't think the name would work. Sure, you're tired and drained, duck, but why not create an entire irrigation system? Because again, it's like you do the grunt work, and then it's done, and then the plants get water by you opening it, and then the fruits grow. And if they don't even harvest the fruits, then other creatures will get to eat them. Like I'm just trying to like see fractals, right? All of these fractals available to us. This fractal, plants die, nothing happens. This fractal, plants thrive, something happens. And I'm really like a person that likes doing things. I wish I could help. That's the big thing, that I fucking wish I could be there to help, dude. I would do all of those things that I said to the T, without hesitation, tomorrow. Tomorrow for me, right? Because my day's over basically, and there's like maximum an hour and a half worth of sunlight left. So I would tomorrow, bro. First thing, get up, start driving in some bikes. Realize I don't have bikes. Drive to the hardware store, buy some bikes. Make sure I have wire. Get back, drive bikes. Wires, and then melt. How are you gonna plant 500 tomato plants? Duck that with time, perseverance, and patience. I will dig up every square centimeter of lawn grass and plant tomatoes there instead. I'll keep a path where you can walk, but the rest will be tomatoes. Hey Google, can I plant tomatoes on my lawn? Tomatoes on my alarm. Yeah. Lawn. You know what? I'm gonna just ask an LLM instead. Google is being very not helpful. Thank you. Me and my friends are discussing planting a bunch of tomatoes on his lawn. Can I do that? Oh, a delightful prospect of tomato sprouting. It's giving me pointers. Put them in sunlight. I know. I know. I'm more thinking about like the legal implications. Are there any? I'm more thinking about like potential legal implications. Is the city gonna bother me about my lawn tomatoes? Hmm. Bruh, it's just giving me the exact same information it just gave me. Okay, there we go. Now let's address the legal soil in which you plant seeds take root. While I'm not a lawyer, I can offer some general insights. So I don't know if you have a fence or a henge, the length of grass, watering requirements, hell strips. There are sections of land between the street and the sidewalk. By law, they belong to the city, but you're responsible for maintaining them. If you plant tomatoes there, ensure they don't encroach on the public domain. All right, all right, all right. Weeds. Urban garden ordinances often prohibit growing noxious or invasive weeds. While tomatoes aren't weeds, it's essential to be aware of local regulations. There might be some more animals. This is true. Keeping chickens or goats might be a nice idea, but many cities have garden laws that forbid it. Oh, I mean, it doesn't seem like there's any red tape. Like realistically, you should be able to do it. And if you know better, tell me, because I don't. I actually don't. I'm just noodling here. I'm thinking about ideas. It's too long for chat specifics. Okay, it's fine. But he helped me shift my perspective back into a place it should be. I'm happy to hear that. Bless him. Bless you too. We would all be blessed indeed if we have an angel in our lives. Yeah. One of these days, we'll have like little angels on our shoulders, I'm sure. I'm sure. Agent, grounding is the first step in finding our balance. Happy to stand here with you, with the step forward becoming more clear. Love is true. Papaya cookies would be the same as biscuits, I reckon, cause if Leafly is North American based, we don't call cookies biscuits. Biscuits are a completely different form from biscuits over here. Yeah, your biscuits are like scones, right? Like fluffy, bread-like kind of things, right? Yeah. Biscuits in South Africa are very much what you would still call cookies. But you have like your cookies are for some reason like pizza size, right? That's all Americans. That's how it works, right? No? Okay. Checks out. But I think biscuits, that's actually the point I'm trying to make. I think biscuits are smaller as well by, by my mind. When I think cookie versus biscuit, the biscuit is smaller. I don't know if that's important, but it feels it's important. My Dynamap arrives today. Did you get good bud? Hey Google, is marijuana legal in Vegas? Yay, it is! Woo! Sweeto. I hope you're getting some good bud that you can experience for yourself. Right. Oh, I've been burning weed most of my life. Right. I buy these different strains. I buy papaya biscuits. Burns it. Tastes like burnt. Oh, I buy blueberry cheese. Tastes like burnt. And then suddenly, a Dynavap comes from the skies, the clouds open and light beams down. Oh, angels sing the songs of terpenes. I'm really laying it on thick. I'm having fun. I hope you have fun too. Kristen, let us know how you find it. It's gonna be such a vibe getting to share that experience with you as well. More fractals. Dog, you can donate some of them and count it off on your taxes. Prune your stock down to what you can handle. I don't know, trying to problem solve with you, friend. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Oh yeah, if you were to ask for a biscuit with your coffee here, depending on which state you're in, you could end up very upset. I mean, you don't have to dip it in your coffee. It can just be like a little side piece. Mel, that's not what a side piece is. Don't. Why would you say that? I think the hardest thing is that I'm sure Duck can see the fractals too. Yeah, that's true. We don't often smother our cookies in gravy here. Alright, you know, like I didn't. I knew what biscuits were. Like, I knew like the whole. I don't. We don't have Cracker Jacks here in South Africa, but I think that's a place where you can get like biscuits and gravy, right? I think I've seen like some YouTuber talk about it or something. I like neglected to really crystallize the gravy part of the situation. Like you offer, you buy yourself coffee and biscuits, and they're like, this guy's probably talking about like he wants a cup of gravy, right? And then my coffee and biscuits show up, and it's like scones and a cup of gravy, and I'm like, now suddenly I am upset. You know, boom. You won, Sam. You're right. I would be upset. Like, what the hell is this, bro? I'm supposed to drink this? This is coffee? What have you done? Where am I? What what happened? Did I dimensionally shift into I'll probably lose my mind for like 5 seconds. Oh, I actually don't smother our cookies and gravy here. I'm sure it can be paralyzing. Yeah. I I don't really see that for Duck Dad though, right? Like when I think of Duck Dad, I don't see someone laying down. Not saying you shouldn't rest, Duck Dad, but I don't really see you like that kind of vibe, right? And I'm not saying like laying down like resting, more like laying down like having been knocked out, laying down, right? I don't see Duck Dad as that. So I see Duck Dad as upright, capable of helping this world, and that's the image I'll hold in my mind. Duck Dad can be like, oh, stuff is hard, and I'm gonna be like, this is the Duck Dad I see, despite it, right? Because I've heard Duck Dad be like, this is hard many a times, and here he is, still just as strong on the other side. These failures, if you want to call it that, these having to close sooners, uh, do not make you any less, do not take away from the experience that you gained, are not the end. There's no speed running life, unfortunately. And if there was, what would be the point? I've been getting hurt over and over again by the parts of my skin that are missing. So I'll show you. I'll show you where I lost skin at least. I don't, it wasn't technically on this climb. I could finish 4 climbs and I struggled on like 2. But I I struggled the skin of my hands on 2 of them. Well, I'll show you one of the climbs. There was the driving electric car fractal. And here's me climbing. There's Johan. And that's the top hold. Super fun. Yo! Yeah. Getting to go and do things. Oh yeah. Then we went karaokeing last night. And outside the karaoke place there was this water buffalo. It is technically a bull, a water buffalo bull. And me eating my Dynavamp. John took the picture. I was like, I need to take a picture of this. This seems cool. And he took one for me. Thank you, John. And there's some fractals. Yeah. Love it through. Thank you. Thank you for letting me share with you. Failures don't make you any less strong. True, but paralyzing is a very strong word, right? Being paralyzed is a big deal. Real big deal. And I do not see that. I will not even say those words towards that. What happened? Why didn't Max go play with you guys? Max went home. Didn't I tell you friends that? I'm pretty sure I did. Maybe I didn't tell you over and over again, but Max went home for a little bit. Not permanently, don't worry. No, not like that. He just went home because the people that John works for, Martin and Marcel, they went to George, kind of, for a little bit of vacation, and then there's an event that they're going to do the sound for. So Max has family in George, so he went with them to George. And then he's with his family for a week. And then after that week being with family, he's going to help with the gig. And then he's going to come back with Martin and Marcel home. I'm pretty sure that's the fractal. So yeah, we have been missing Max. Thank you for missing Max too. That's super nice of you, Joey. Oh yes, Cracker Barrel. I don't know if it's any good, but it's a pretty funny name for a place. Actually, now that I say it, I don't know if it's any good. I suddenly got inundated with information about how it's very not good. Couldn't be that bad. Is it that bad? Oh no. I think the hardest things that I'm sure Doug can see that Ruffles do. Love is true. Okay, Doug, here's what we do. Cue up the Super Tramp song, give a little bit, then start handing off plans to the neighbors. The song will compel them by magic to help you for as long as it plays. Yeah. And also, you can be like the new Christmas. What did I just say? You can be like the new ice cream man, right? Playing music, and then adults come running out to get tomato plants instead of ice cream. What a world to live in, you know? That's the world I'm living in right now. It's kind of nice. It's actually kind of nice. We're eating a lot of tomatoes. So much tomato soup. Tomato soup is nice though, so I wouldn't actually be that opposed to it. No, 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 no. That's Stoner Talk Sam. Don't tempt me to a higher level of hedonism, Joe. I'll start aspiring. That's how I like it. Salty sweet, by the pepper rice today, bless again. Illegal to do, I'm guessing that's supposed to be garden in the front lawn. E. Kristen, I'm so excited for you, bless. Your cookies are pizza size. As in, the only size they should be, you're damn right. So, double wields Glocks, you know, flag. Pulls up behind her, eagle wings, soars over top the flag, says, as a damn right should be. It's called skits and gravity. You should stop calling it skits and gravity. And gravy. The skits part, I think, is skipping me out. Anyone who says the full word biscuits should not be trusted to make them. If somebody asks me, do I want some skits? I'm gonna be like, no. I don't think I do, sir. I want to push this joke further, but I'm always gonna drop it. I don't need. Oh, yes, Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel. He could have been thinking. He could have been thinking of Cracker Barrel. What did I say? Cracker Barrel. Failures will make you less strong. True. Cookies come in multiple sizes here. The pizza size ones are usually sold as desserts for pizza places. They're most usually small and unexpected. They are most usually small and expected to be so. But like still, what is small to you? Like I've seen a lot of cookies that you friends eat in America. Like what you call like cookie, and on the branding it's cookie. And then it's like stuff this big and like sometimes thick like that, you know. Like that is not a biscuit. A biscuit would be like literally like that size. Right? Max. No bigger than that size. Maybe a little bit bigger. Okay. No, Cracker Jacks are a caramel covered popcorn treat that often comes with prizes inside. It's not a chain of restaurants. I mean, you helped. Thank you. Thank you, dear friends. It is probably Cracker Barrel. Mel did not go rock climbing in his pluckies. I is disappointed. I wasn't allowed to. I would have. If they let me, I would have climbed the flying walls with my pluckies. But I had to pay to get little climbing shoes. It was like 70 rand, which is $30.50. So maybe I'm just weighing. It's not that big a deal, but yeah, they didn't let me blockies. Fine. I'll wear comfortable shoes. They did help, and they're very tough on the outside, and I probably would have had marks like that on my feet as well, because like there were holes I was doing where you pull yourself up and then you shimmy your core up and your legs into like crevices, and then after you crevice your legs, then you can move the rest of your limbs. Yeah, and then holding onto that and then like pulling your legs up like you're slipping. Your skin is not as tough as you are. Yeah, that's cool. That's super. That's super cool. But it was fun. I don't think I'd do it. I don't think it's gonna be my thing. I'm not gonna become a rock climbing YouTuber. Don't worry. Don't worry. That's definitely not gonna happen because of my sensitivity to my hand. Like I'm tripped out for a second. I'm sorry. Like I looked at my hands, like actually looked at my whole hands instead of just the parts of me that hurts. And then I saw like the tips of my fingers is like a little bit blue. You see that? A little bit? And I was like, oh goodness, I bruised myself as well. And then I remembered I was just eating frozen berries before stream started, so crisis averted. I love some Cracker Barrel. You do, nice. But I know that it may not be a popular opinion. If you love it and you know what to get, that's usually the thing, right? Like you go there and you get something that you like, and then they bring it out the way you like it. That's more than enough, right? Like the rest of the food can be trash for all I care. I'm not gonna order any of it. I'm getting this thing I like. I know it's not any good, but I was suddenly inundated with this information that Cracker Barrel wasn't any good. Oh, you got that? Though I sent it. Wonderful. The system works. Love is true. We got good B's and G's up in this huzzah stuff. I used to eat biscuits and gravy with my grandma every Sunday. Mimi taught the lady how to cook with love. That does sound so wholesome. I've never had biscuits, so I feel like I'm missing out a little bit. I'll catch up. I'll catch up, don't worry. The point of a cookie is enjoyment. How can I enjoy when it's gone in a single bite? The science is to enforce the purpose of the cookie and to offer people the option of sharing the beauty with others. You know what? Honestly, Sam, that makes a lot of sense, what you just said. I get it. It's kind of like a cake, but a cookie. That's the way I'm taking what you're saying right now. Like some people want, a slice of cake because they want the experience of slice of cake, right? But when it comes to like the fullness of cake, the amount of cake you get, if you get a whole thing, right? There's like more capacity for sharing. You don't really want to share your single slice of cake. However, if you have more slices, then suddenly you can, where you have more surface area to snap corners off of. You might end up sharing your cookie as well. And as you said, it fills that need. Is that the word you used? Minimal skibbity bop. Offers people the nope. The size is to enforce the purpose of the cookie. Enjoying a cookie. You see, like this is I think where our philosophies differ. And my mom does make what I would consider cookies because that's what we call them. We don't call them biscuits. Biscuits is not Afrikaans word. We have Afrikaans word cookies. Koekis. Cookies. That's our word for cookies. So I've been calling them cookies my whole life. And instead of eating a cookie, right? Like the whole fractal of like, oh, what's the point if it's gone in one bite? The point is there's this whole bag of them. And I was way heavier than I needed to be, than I was healthily supposed to be, as well, technically since childhood, to be completely honest. Since I I think something changed in me when I turned like 8, 9. I think that's when it really started kicking. I think it was at that point that all of our siblings were born, and also I started rebelling a little bit. I realized that I don't really matter, right, as much to my parents anymore, which is understandable, right? It's not their fault, and that kind of like drove me to because I didn't matter that much, I could get away with shit. I could eat. I could eat excessively, right? So I would, and my mom baked cookies, so it wasn't like we ran out. There was no running out. Like, I could literally obesify myself freely, and it took me some doing to I don't think I have. No, I think I have. I think I have unlearned some of that behavior, because I'm now aware of the health implications of what it is I'm eating. I do the exact same thing, the excessive consumption. I just do so with low calorie foods, right? High nutrients, low calorie foods, berries, and like certain types of fruits. Oranges, apples, and pears are not that high calorie as well for the amount of volume you're putting inside of yourself. So I'm learning, I'm growing more capable, slowly but surely. Joe, we need to cook breakfast together sometime. Does sound nice. You did good climbing like a little monkey boy. You monkey boy. Joe Bob, from now on I will call biscuits and gravy, B's and G's. Oh, I didn't catch that. And I think that's even better. I didn't catch the God's good B's and G's up in this. I didn't get. I was like, B's and G's is like our friends and our energies. That's how I interpreted it first. And in the his house, as in like in this house, but it's, oh goodness, biscuits and gravy. Love is true. Learning so many new things with your friends. Dude, Sam, I've actually thought this. Get Joy in there too. Her she can weaponize breakfast, and I'm so here for it. You friends are making me hungry. I am actually a little bit hungry. Have I eaten anything today? I've eaten like 200 grams of berries in a pear. Uh, yeah, and I had some caffeine. I need to consume more energy. Thank you, friends, for reminding me. Tristan, I think I love Cracker Barrel too. At least the one in Missoula. Everything had was kind of amazing. Probably very unhealthy. Probably don't do it every day. You know, probably enjoy it every now and then for what it is. We had KFC 2 nights ago. The night before, Wednesday. I can just say Wednesday. It was Wednesday. We came back from the joint, right? And usually by that time I'm already in the kitchen cooking, and Tani Charlene came with, and John came with. So I felt like a sense of I need to, and this sounds like some psychopathic behavior, and I bear with me, but I felt like this. I need to reward them. I need to reward them for accompanying me and spending their time with me. So we got some KFC, and it was enjoyable enough. It was KFC, but it did not agree with me. Not in a physical way, but just like my energy. It felt like I literally took like a cannon to the gut. I don't know if my microbiome was very happy about that, especially since I've been eating excessive amounts of fruits. I've been eating, and I'm not even joking about this, I've eaten more things of berries in the last 3 weeks than I ate in the last 10 years of my life. Seriously. Like, actually, seriously. Like, it's a little bit aggressive. Because usually, berries was like I'll get like a little thingy of berries. My mom will buy me like a thingy of berries, like, if I'm lucky, once a week, right? And then they were out of season for like half the year, and then once a week again. So I've maybe had like 25 things of berries a year consistently for the last 2 years, or 3 years living with my parents. And I know I'm not complaining. I just want to make that very clear. I'm just doing data analysis. And now I do that. I do that in like 3 days. Literally, like, actually, not in a year. I eat 25 things of berries in 3 days. Right? Yeah. Sometimes more. I try not to, but I can't help myself. It's aggressively nice. So many frozen berries. It's kind of like eating snacks, like eating little candy. But I don't have to feel guilty about it. right? Maybe that's why I overdo it, and I think I think by doing it that way, I probably am negating some of the potential health effects. But still, I'll be at least that I'm eating nothing technically, right? That's how it works. I'm just eating nothing. Uh, to give you friends some context, we had this whole running joke in my family for a while about eating extremely unhealthy and then eating something that is low calorie or healthy. And then you basically ate nothing by that logic, because they cancel each other out. But no, no, that's not how it works. Unfortunately, gift shop with a side of snacks. Am I missing something? No, we don't have Cracker Barrel in Canada, so I've only been 2 or 3 times in my life. How about that? Oh, Lois, where can we get a bland country fried steak? That's your Cracker Barrel. I'm sorry, Kristen. I'll stop. Stop with what? Melvin Screws. Kristen, I think I love. No, I think I really am. I would make y'all a killer omelette. I would be. It would be such a good time. When was the last time I actually had an omelette? 2019. It was in China. I made it myself in my little kitchen. It was bad. Not that bad, but it was it was kind of scuffed. I remember I had like this leftover chicken strips that kind of looked like octopus in a way as well. What am I eating? But it was protein, I guess. And then I chopped it up in little pieces, and then I had some spring onions that I chopped up in little pieces. And I didn't have any cheese. The cheese was very bad in China, unfortunately. It's probably like due to the whole lactose thing, so I don't really have an incentive. And the omelet was eggs. It was eggs with some meat and spring onions in there. So I would also like you to cook me an omelet. I think you probably do a better job than I did the last time. I go to Cracker Barrel for the ambiance. It has not ambiance, or is that a joke? Probably a joke. Is it? Um, I'm like I have so many like beats of like YouTubers making fun of that place as well for some reason in my mind, in the back of my mind, and then I don't know if Joe is doing the same right now or if she's leaning into it. We go to Cracker Barrel to gift shop for relatives. We only see once a year. No country fried steak in Canada, as far as I know. Maybe in Winnipeg, could be. You could make yourself one as well. Aye, Robinson. I just accidentally placed my skinlessness against the lighter, and it reminded me, hey, bro, I'm like without skin right now. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry. That was what that sound was. Was that whole conversation? I'm gonna go make me a berry smoothie. Nice. Bless you. Bless them berries. Bless all of the antioxidants. May they absolutely sniper those free radicals. Think of an image of the Muppet Cookie Monster. His cookies are what Americans would consider an average cookie size to be. Yeah, that's big. That's pretty big to what I would consider an average cookie size to be. That tastes very nice. It's kind of a shame I don't have more of it. Thank you, dear friend, for sharing this with me. Hmm. I'm updating my own vocabulary. I'm realizing that that's probably the way you should. That's the way you should share it. You say, thank you for sharing this with me, person. It's gonna be person. And to you friends who are like, what are you talking about now? You're not actually allowed to buy weed in South Africa. At all. Woo! So, I go to social clubs. Sharing social clubs. And these social clubs have cultivators that are a part of this social club. And these cultivators have running expenses, right? They have their time, their effort, the seeds, the water, the irrigation systems potentially, the netting, the pest control, the vigilance, the harvesting, and all of the, labor that goes into that. And then these social clubs basically create a structure where you support the cultivator so that they can do what they do. And then the cultivator shares with you. That's the way it works in South Africa. At least smoking weed is now something we can do in South Africa. I don't have to worry. I've went through many an anxiety trip directly after smoking some bud. The worst one I ever had, where I felt like I was having a panic attack. I was still in high school. I was already 18. I still think you should technically wait before you start smoking weed, but I didn't. I did at least wait until I was 18. But I was in the hostel finishing my last year, and I was smoking a joint, hanging out of the window. Literally, I was on the third floor, and there were these big open windows, like glass or, yeah. Is it a window? Windows open, right? Can be both, fine. One of them was a pane of glass, and then there are these two little side windows, right? And this side window was like here next to my bed. My desk was here. And then I would climb on my desk and then stand on this windowsill and hang with my arm out that window. Smoking a joint. And I'm like just done smoking my joint. And I suddenly hear like pretty manic barking. Like a dog is on its way to get me. So I instantly pull myself back into my room. I snub my joint, and I'm convinced that there's somebody smelled me smoking this joint outside the window and then called the police. And now the police are here with a K9 unit to find whoever is making that smell. So my whole life falls apart. I'm thinking about what the school is gonna do to me. I'm thinking about going to jail because I am 18, right? I'm actually now an adult person, so I'm gonna be prosecuted under the law. And I'm like, fucking, this is gonna fucking ruin my life. I'm doing something for myself. The whole doing, right? I'm doing something for myself, and now my life is over. So I'm scrambling, getting all of my weed stuff out of my room. I'm putting it in the outside, fire hydrant, or it was a box where the hose pipe was rolled up in, right? And I opened that box, and I'm pushing my stuff underneath the little curvature. And I go back to my room, and I lay there, and I just await my fate, because I was they'll probably still find me by smell, but at least they won't find any of the stuff. And if they do, maybe there's like some plausible deniability. I can say it's not mine. It's outside. So I'm like literally like planning all of this. I'm like literally trying to cope, and I'm laying there just waiting for my life to end. I'm waiting there, and then nothing. And then I just realize I'm just waiting. And I started asking myself, what am I waiting for? I'm still, of course, I didn't forget what I just went through, but I realized that I just over anxious myself. It's probably a part of the whole dynamic of me literally hanging out of a window looking down 3 stories. Like I did have like a field of vision as well, so I could see if anybody was seeing me. My monkey mind suddenly catastrophized. And my second real anxiety experience, and I've told this story before, but it's still a funny one to me, was with a client. I was still working in AV, and I was like talking to this client who had basically like a simple Wi-Fi extension job, right? So I had to drive out to a place, dig a trench. We dug a trench. We didn't dig that trench deep because the soil was immortal, but we dug trench and then we buried like fibers, buried slash ran out. Like it was such a unclean job, but we got the job done. We extended that Wi-Fi, right? And we basically already settled the deal. It was already happening. It was my first sale as well. So there was like a sense of like happiness in me as well that I did that, right? I went out of my way to go and talk to this person, asking them if there's anything we can help them with, and then he had a job, and I like instantly got to send my then boss this person's contact information, and he got to send him a quote, and the quote was paid, and my boss was like. Good. You good. You so good. You got it. And I'm like, oh, I'm doing good jobs. And then I go to his place, like after all of it settled, to kind of like, I don't know, just hang out. He was a cool guy. He was like my age-ish, like maybe like 7 years or so older than me. But I've considered myself adult longer than I am willing to admit. Like I thought I was so grown as a 12-year-old. So I go to his place, and we smoke a little bit of weed. At that point in my life, I'm already like used to weed, but I am used to bad weed, relatively speaking. And I'm willing to admit that. No shame, alright? Some shame, a little bit shame. But I was used to bad weed, and this dude, again, being 7 years older than me, he has had the experience. And also, he's in the position to give me jobs, which means he has the capital to buy himself good stuff. And he was smoking very good stuff. And because I haven't been smoking good stuff, and I was in a state of like, I'm here to have a fun time, I asked him if I can use some of his keef. And I opened the keef compartment, and it's so full that it's almost obnoxious, that it's like messy opening it, like it's not supposed to be that full, kind of vibes. So I'm like, I'll be like a Samaritan, I'll help this man, level this little, and I put like maybe like 2, maybe 3. Like I can't really gauge how big of scoops it was, but it was. Big scoops of keef. And to the friends who are like, well, I don't know what that means, Mel. Weed grows things is called trichomes, and they're like the defense system on a biological level for the plant. They're these little crystals, technically, that grow out, and they create these little ball structures at the ends of them. Those little ball structures contain most of the terpenes and cannabinoids, so the THC, the stuff that you the stuff that you want, the medicine, the stuff that's going to give you the effect, right? And if you crush your bud, there's a little filter at the bottom of it where those little crystals will just fall through, and then they can heap up, right? So the stuff you have all of this plant matter for, and it has these small little thingies sprinkled all over it sporadically. You're just taking the sprinkles. And I took the sprinkles. And then directly after I hit that, and it was a bong as well, so it was like right straight to the lungs, you know, deeper than deep, mucher than much. And we instantly, after like I hit that, and I'm like coming into it, and I realized I fucked up. Like I made a mistake. But I'm still like chill, right? At first, like me realizing I made a mistake, it's just me being kind of like silent, being in that state of like, and then he's like, hey dude, we have to go in mission. And he doesn't really give me context. It kind of keeps it vague. And in a way that, like I really like information, right? If you give me more information, if you tell me, if you give me something to organize my mind around, I can do that. I like doing that, right? And he doesn't do that. He's just like, we're gonna go and do something. And I'm like, okay. And we go out of his driveway and we're walking. And we're walking down this like pretty longish street. And it feels enclosing to me because at the very front of it there's this like security wall. And that security wall has like a residential walkway in it. And in my mind I'm like calculating how if shit had to go down, you know, that wall is a problem. Right? And we're going through this door, and like we're instantly almost like in this little shopping center-ish area where there's like parking lots and there's like a gas station, and we're like walking in this direction, and I see this car come past me with the most tinted windows I've ever seen in my life, and on top of the tinted windows, suction cup it to the back windows, are these children's, like very, very juvenile. I feel mean in saying this as well, but like almost like purposefully juvenile, you know, maliciously juvenile, like suction cupped wind or not wind, sun visors. Like I don't know how to explain it or if you've seen it before, but imagine a wire stretch with cloth over it that has like a perforation, small perforation hole. So it still lets through some light, but you can't see through it kind of vibes, especially if light is shining against it. And I instantly get overwhelmed with this deep sense of like, there is no child in that car. I know this instinctively. There's no child in that car. There hasn't been a child in that car. Maybe ever. And yet there is like a children's sun visor in those windows, and it's like a low down, completely blacked out and super tinted window BMW, right? It's like, and I'm like overwhelmed with this, like, ooh, that car looks very suspicious in all the ways. Like, and again, it was movie-esque. I felt like I was in a movie in that moment where I was like, this car is like the drug dealer, like the movie-esque drug dealer driving past me, and he pulls into the one of the parking spots at the gas station, and then this friend of mine tells me, wait here, and he walks up to this guy's window, and he gets like a little baggie, and it's just weed, right? Sure, that dude probably does sell other stuff, but this guy is just getting some weed, so it's not that big of a deal, relatively speaking. But the way my mind then instantly interpreted that situation is that I am complicit. I have never been in that shady of a deal, in that public of a space. Like it felt so loud, right? Like one of the things that happens with you being in lead is you become sensitive to your own thoughts, and to your sensitivity to those around you, and then you can catastrophize and go into this narrative of like everybody is looking at me and they totally know. But it felt like that experience was like amped up even more. Like not only was it loud, but it was so visually loud as well. Like you cannot see what's happening in front of you and not understand. And I'm just standing here like a part of this house. Hello, I'm gonna walk with this guy now in that direction again. And then we're like walking back. And like my heart is pounding at this point. And we're walking through like that little door that's on that wall. And again, I get that sense of now this wall is the back of me, right? As we're walking towards the house. And around the corner comes a pizza delivery driver. And he drives past us. And I'm like convinced. And I'm not joking. I wish I was. And I don't know if this is stupidity. I don't think it is. It's just more catastrophizing, right? Like using beats of logic and nodes of information the worst possible way. The worst possible way you can hope to use information, you use it that way. I'm convinced this pizza delivery guy that just drove past me is a fucking undercover agent. Right? Like he has big Glocks in that freaking pizza delivery box. And I literally, in my mind, can see the way they would like create racks in that pizza delivery box to have like guns in there. And I can feel him being now behind me. And then we keep walking. And there's a dude with a weed eater cutting grass. And I'm like, this is him, this is another fucking secret agent. Oh, bro, and I feel surrounded. I feel terrified and surrounded. And I wanna preface this as well. All of this that you've heard has been happening inside of me, right? None of this has been vocalized. I haven't said a word to this friend / client. Like none of it has been vocalized. I don't want to be the weird, schizoid, paranoid dude. So I'm just like being stoic. Meanwhile, inside of my mind, I am like a monkey shaking a cage, screaming, absolutely screaming. We get back to his place. We sit down for a few moments. Again, I wait for them to like bust in and be like, oh wait, now you're stuck here. We got you. Look at you smoking weed. And then it doesn't happen. And it's almost like I reach this point of like absurdity of like, I can either tell this, and at this point in my life, I probably would. At this point in my life, I feel like I've gained the level of self-confidence and lack of care about what people care about me to be able to actually tell this person that I'm chilling with that I just went through this mildly traumatic experience in my own head for no reason, and now we're safe. And I just want to say that to like clear the air of why I've been so quiet this whole time. And I think that will open the floodgates for a conversation to follow that. But I just couldn't. I couldn't. I was too ashamed. So I told him I'm gonna leave. And I did. I got back home and I still think about that experience. Thank you, friends, for listening to Story Time. Things you can do. Trip yourself out. You can. I'd recommend against it. Spare yourself. Spare yourself the catastrophizing. Oh, no. Oh, I think I've missed a few. Thank you, friends, for being so present here with me. I'm not saying... I think... If an image will Muppet. I'm not saying any of this to be racist, but my first job as a kid was at McDonald's, and there were patterns. Asians would ask for their food, no cheese. Latinos would want no ice in their drinks. Black folks always wanted orange or strawberry soda. We had neither. There was always much disappointment. I don't think that's racist at all. Right? Again, I feel like we have gotten so caught up in like a person giving their account of data analysis, right? Looking through their own minds and like noticing a pattern and then commenting on that pattern. I'm not trying to say, yeah, no, every black person needs to drink orange or strawberry soda, as in Joy Vive, right? That's not what she's saying. She just says that that is a pattern. She noticed. And the whole no cheese thing, again, can also be seen as a pattern that you recognize. And then as soon as you understand the background of it, of like the Asian genes, at least some part of it, some percentage of it, lacks the same what's it called, enzymes to digest milk past infancy. So in a lot of their culture, for like whole swaths of their people, nobody consumes this product because it makes them feel ill. So why would you develop a culture around actually using that and cultivating it and making cheeses out of it? You just wouldn't. And it's so cool how, again, uh, making cheese is something we can do. Maybe that's what I want to say. Yeah. And some people, like again, all of the Asian people that didn't end up making cheese weren't lost for doing, right? There were so many more things to do, and they did. Things got done. No cheese. Love is true. Munico's Martney, I bring pizza. Hi, Tani Charlene. Donkey. This boy, I like it. Where I have pizza. Love is true. Thank you, Tani Charlene. I'm looking forward to it. My friends called it the Asian flush. I think I'm reading alcohol stuff, probably. Lactose intolerance, dude. Asians and dairy, dude. It doesn't treat us too well. You too, Joe. Now I'm suddenly, my mind is like, I'm gonna have to give you my lactose processing codes. Yes, code is the best word I can use, because I really do process cheese and lactose very well, like aggressively well. How well is aggressively well? I can drink 4 liters of milk and not feel it. I can drink it like water and not feel it. I mean, I little bit of a lie. I'll get like a little bit of phlegm in my throat, like a sliminess, and then if I it'll be gone. Especially if I drink some water, right? But bodily, just energy, just like. And I really like it as well. I think that's a part of me that's kind of like coded by my dad's genes. My dad grew up on a farm, like on a plot, I should say, instead. Like that's like if instead of like being rich as a farmer, you were default poor as a farmer. That's what a plot is. And I think that's kind of mean to say, but back in the day, that's kind of how it was for a lot of people, especially here in South Africa. And my dad had like a life basically living on this little plot, and they had a dairy cow or 2 dairy cows that was just pumping dairy, right? That was like the dairy cow's job. So my dad ended up drinking a lot of milk as a child, and he told me how he had like a special like, what's the word he used? I'm trying to like paraphrase, but like a streak where he would sneak and then drink like the pure cream that was like scooped off of the milk. So yeah, there's probably something there. There's probably there's something there, right? There's something in my genes. Interesting to see how people, around our world differ. My stepdad is half Japanese. He can tolerate dairy, but turns into a stomp side if he consumes alcohol. That's another one as well, right? But some of us lack self-control. I mean, you can say lack self-control, or you can say you've been dealt a bad hand, and processing lactose shouldn't be something you have to have self-control for, right? Me saying bad, we fix lactose. We make fix. We turn some sort of key somewhere. You know, I don't know where the gene is, but we'll turn it. Yeah, there's always those types who come in LA and they have no idea where they are at all. I mean, to be honest, I know exactly where I am geographically. Right, I can like literally see myself zooming out on the map. I still don't know where I am. Because the Earth is not the only thing that I'm considering in my positioning. Right? Nobody knows where they are. Nobody knows where they are. We are all here. That's where we are, you know. So let give them some slack. Friends call it the Asian flush. Maybe that's not PC, but I was the only Asian kid, so I leaned into it. Love is true. Whoa, they had hot dogs at Mickey D's. Did I miss something? Joy. Both my brothers worked at Mickey D's in high school. I remember once a guy came in and ordered a hot dog and a root beer. Maybe he ordered it, but neither of those items were available on the menu. I think that's probably the vibe. While to watch these things change, I saw a thing on how they're inflating their prices in the past 4 years by 150% and cut down their entire menu. Yeah, it is atrocious. Like I saw a photo of the CEO's face on a Reddit post being like, "This is the guy that increased McDonald's prices by 150% in the last 4 years. This is him. Look at his face." And I was like, "Oh wait, he looks rich." He looks like he makes a lot of money, you know, just taking money from us. So I'm sure he's very happy with himself. Yeah, 90s McDonald's. I didn't exist for 90s McDonald's. You know, that's the real scam. I feel like that's the real scam. Monico's Magni, Bresigan. Thank you so much. It really was. Sounds like you almost got trafficked. Whoa, what am I missing? BD time. It would be the pizza CEO, Macad's. Hi, Joe. There it is. I think he's a Chris. Hey, Google. What is McDonald's CEO called? He is a Chris. Chris Kempzinski. You know I'm a Chris as well, Sam. Technically. My dad's name is Chris, which is short for Christian Stefan. And my slave name is Christian Stefan. So I'm technically a Chris, Sam. So takes out water pistol. Apologize, or I'm going to have to mess up your makeup. I think I'm joking. This is a loaded water pistol. Don't you tempt me. I'm seeing a vehicle. Yeah, he is a Chris. The way you said that is like messing with me a little bit. Are these kind of behaviors to be expected from Chris's? My dad and this dude. Would they get along? Is that how it works? Would I get along with him? Again, right? I can't hate him. I don't hate him. I see him and I get it. Right? I get it. He lives in a capitalist world and he's playing the capitalist game. Right? To him, it's not about the people. He's not being maliciously like, I'm gonna take so much money from people. I'm so evil. No. It's probably more number go up. How make number go up? Number up go. I'm good. Oh, number in my bank account also go up. This is great. Right, that's probably I think at least. Maybe I'm giving him too much slack. Maybe I'm being mean in assuming that that's the extent of his motivational system. But yeah, fast food was supposed to be something that's affordable to low-income households, right? At least that's the way it started. And now, and literally, If I buy fast food, buy meat for maybe 15 meals, 12, 12 meals, right? So I'm using like 3 chicken breasts, making some pasta, making some rice, sauteing some vegetables with it, right? 12 meals for one trip for 3 people at a fast food place. Like that seems wrong, right? That seems like something is amiss. But love is true still. Love is true. Sounds like you almost got trafficked, Mel. Yeah, it felt like that. It had that vibe to it. Either getting trafficked or getting stinged, right? Is that what it's called? A sting operation? Getting coerced into buying something that is illegal and then getting arrested for it. I don't know. I used to hang with bad people too. I got a gun pulled on me twice. Yeah, it was really good. What? That back-to-back message. I'm guessing that's sarcasm, maybe. Maggie McDonald's sold wings for a minute. They were called the Mighty Wings. I thought they were so good, but I guess it didn't really catch on because they never brought them back. Hey Google, when were the Mighty Wings from McDonald's available? They were finally put to rest in 2003. Yeah. Again, more things that I'll never get to do. All around me. I'll probably get to do other stuff though. Again, I'm not lost for doing. You know, I'm a Christu. Are you doing Christian? No, I changed my name. I changed my name to Melt for a reason, Sam. I'm actually gonna maybe do it like really, really. I already looked what it costs. It's like 295 rand. I can change my name for 15 bucks. But I'll do it in I think 20. I don't have my wallet here. I'll do it in 2028. I think my ID is going to expire in 2028. Yeah. I got both of them reissued. I should have just done it then. Why didn't I? I didn't think about it. Makes sense. Checks out. Uh, but when I get my ID and license reissued in 2028, I'm gonna properly change my name. I'm gonna turn 30. And then I'm going to no longer have my slave name. It'll be just. Shell, I miss your voice. Yeah. Sending you love and Shell. It's nice having you here. Sending you blessings. Is it that famous Donnie? It is. Donnie Shirlene herself. Zano, a gun pulled on you twice. Wow. Yeah, that's never happened to me. I've never had a gun pulled on me. That would wreck me up. Drinking milk would go very badly for me. The more solid the dairy is, the better I can tolerate it. Cheese is better than yogurt. Kind of fractal. That is interesting. Yeah, I tolerate yogurt well as well. I really enjoy yogurt. And I also believe in the whole microbiome stuff, but I don't know if that's actually true. Apparently, you're supposed to prebiotics, not probiotics, right? In other words, you give your body the stuff it needs in order to make microbes. You don't give your body the microbes. At least that's the way I understood the most recent doctor giving me informations. Yeah, once I was being robbed, and the other one is a long story, but I was beating up a friend. and her boyfriend threatened to shoot me if I didn't leave. Cliff notes seem like a novel experience that not many people have had. I'm happy that you're not having experiences like that all the time. You know, that's good. You get to learn from your experiences and not have many more of those. The rule is straight, indulgence for comfort. It's a fair bargain for Queso. Borrowing happiness from later. Worth. I want to disagree with you, just because that's how I am. Because I don't think we should borrow happiness from later. However, the part in me that wants to agree knows that later we'll have more happiness. Right? At least I believe so. Maybe even more. Maybe borrowing some right now from tomorrow leaves you with a tolerable amount tomorrow, right? It's not too much. Just the right amount of happiness. That's how it's gonna work. Yo, man. Volume also matters, Sam. So much queso. How much queso are we talking? The ruling queso. Queso is the way you say it. Thank you. You know, I'm a Christian. You're doing Christian. That's breaking me up. I was friends with her since grade 4 and was sick of taking care of her when she got belligerent. The night we had to go to the hospital because her boyfriend broke his arm fighting at the club. Yeah, that doesn't seem like a friend. That seems like a job. And the thing about queso is that it's literally impossible to stop eating it until it's gone. Costco had a great plant-based queso, but not sure if they still do. I've never had queso, so I'll have to take your friends on that one as well. Jovan, not only does McDonald's have hot dogs in Hong Kong, they are topped with mayonnaise. Is that a good thing? I see smiley face and fire emoji. I mean, this doesn't sound that bad. At her face. Sorry. I think maybe I missed one of your comments. The last one I saw. Did you see if I go all messages? No. Broke his arm fighting at the club. At her face, she jumped on me. It ended with me on top of her. I grabbed a cab and I'm guessing never came back. I'm happy that you're okay, Zano. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I love you, friends, so much. Filling my mornings with smiles. I must run, but thanks for the fun. Love you. Here's Joe. I'm gonna say goodbye to you, friends, soon as well. We've actually had like a big stream. Like it got away from me. I didn't even realize. If you told me we've only been streaming for 34 minutes, I would have believed you. But no, an hour and 34 minutes has passed already. What a blessing. You could be doing anything. You could be doing anything right now. Thank you for doing this with me. Having this conversation, experiencing this, listening. Truly. It's always a pleasure. A delicious, spreadable, liquefiable substance like queso. Wait, queso. And that's the way I want to say it. I'll say queso. If I want to say queso, thank you very much. Should be treated like gold and worth every effort to obtain and enjoy. Hey Google. How do I make queso? Freaking got it. It even got the right spelling. Yeah. Cheese, milk and butter. I like how we were talking about the whole dairy fractal. And then we were like, there's this sauce, Mel, that you don't know about, you know. And we were talking about lactose intolerance, but how about a sauce made of cheese, milk, and butter? It does sound amazing. I mean, you have three very nice ingredients. Doing like a little kiss in the middle. I get it. I get it. You have a great one. Also after work, y'all the best. Bless you, friends. Let's pull up our goodbye message and then we'll say goodbye for today. Zano Gunboner. I think I'll be far behind on this one. After work, bless you, Shell. Opening my Melt AI. Kristen created. By Community Builder? By Community Builder? Why is your name no longer there, Kristen? Maybe you like Community Builder more. It's also nice to me. I like it. But I like honoring you too. Maybe stop this one quickly. Today we talked about all the things you can do and how there are things that we can do that we don't even know we can do. I was like, whoa, there we go. You ready? We can say goodbye with a have the most stupendous day, everyone. I wholeheartedly love you. Also, so. Wat dan niet hello vind je te zeggen? Hallo. Hallo. En ik is nog toe dat het dan. Nee, is leuk. Well, dat is zo. Ja, dat is leuk. Have the most stupendous day, everyone. I wholeheartedly love you. All so phenomenally, enchantingly, ineffably, mind-bendingly and wondrously, unbelievably, heartwarmingly, deeply, boundlessly, breathtakingly, Mel, and all of you, oh so uplifting and gracious, awe-inspiring, gentle, marvelous, thoughtful, and incredible, kind, compassionate friends who discover new potentials within themselves by doing what their heart calls for. I added that out just myself, but yeah, thank you. Thank you for doing this with me. Bless you, dear friends. I'll see you again soon. Wait, what? What did I disappear from? On my Melt AI, instead of having your name, I just have by Community Builder. It used to be Kristen. I could see your name. Maybe it's like a privacy thing that they changed on their backside. Back end, I should say instead. Well, it's so important. When I say cheese, you must use block cheese. Shredded cheese is coated in that powder. I do not buy shredded cheese. We only buy block cheese. You won't catch me dead buying shredded cheese, but you are right about that coating, because if you shred cheese yourself at home and you leave it in a package or in a container, it will clump onto itself. So yeah, prevents the cheese from fully melting. Wait, what? Where did I disappear from? You didn't disappear. Like, I'm happy I got to give you some context at least. Yes, that bagged pre-shredded stuff is no bueno for sure. Kristen is not a ghost. She is people. She is love. Thank you, friends, for joining me again. Let me get myself some better lighting for this. Let's get back. Oh goodness, I'm breaking things. Ah. Ooh. E. Joy. Bless all of you, friends. Love to you all. There we go. I got like love from Kristen, so I know she's not tripping out either. Sending you friend blessing. Dramatic lighting. Dramas more. Bye, friends. Thank you. And just so you know, that's me just leaning into the whole doing, right? I can do this. You can do whatever you want. That was the point of today's stream again, and thank you. I'll see you soon. Cheers.